Hi guys, what's up? Zax here. Today we are here another Grid Autosport video. Today we are here to do some more Formula 3. We're going to be going on to the second season. This is the Championship Assault, and we're going to be going with the Monster Energy team. I was just looking through, the Razor seem to have better deals, but they're trying to convince me Monster Energy was the better team to go with. So we enter Season 2 in the Formula C, which is Formula 3 cars, and obviously open wheel once again. And in the next episode, after this season is complete, I'm thinking I'm going to be going with the endurance cars, because really interesting cars there. You got some really high powered supercars which I think you guys will enjoy watching. But here we are with the first race of the weekend and the first out of 4 races, starting at the back in our Monster Energy car. I should, I forgot to tell you guys that you can do qualifying, but I just when I was playing this, I just wanted to race, so I just kept forgetting to do qualifying. So I'm sorry about that. It's the same. I'm probably going to do the same in the next ones as well. I think overall it's nice to see some overtaking. I think later on in this walkthrough, this sort of preview walkthrough, I will do some qualifying, but at the start I really want to get into the racing, so I'm sorry if I just accidentally skip qualifying, that sort of stuff. It's not really intentional, but obviously I do want to get into the racing. It's just going to be so much more fun to watch the racing than qualifying. But here we are, obviously Malaysia once again, slightly sliding about, trying to get past the car in front. Oh, that's my teammate I've made contact with. That is not good whatsoever, and that is definitely not what I want to be doing, especially now I'm in a better team. I don't want to be crashing into my teammate. And just a quick thing, in the bottom left hand side of your screen you'll see a little thing with a helmet and 11th position and my teammate's name. Now the interesting thing about this is that you can actually control what your teammate's doing. So for example, on the PlayStation controller, the PS4 controller, L1, if you press L1 it makes your teammate go slower, and if you press R1 it makes your teammate go faster. So pretty much it's enabling you to be the team manager at the same time as being the racing driver, making sure that your teammate is pushing hard or going defensive at the same time you're driving. So it's really quite cool. I'm not sure whether it's entirely optimised yet, because I've put them on full push, but then I really haven't seen them make any progress, so I'm not sure whether that's made a huge amount of difference. So I'm hoping that's going to be slightly improved for the actual game, but obviously this is still going to be a very old build in comparison to where they are when the game actually releases. So many of the little things you might see as bugs now in this sort of version, they might not be there by the time I actually go to the actual release. So you can see that was a very risky overtake there, trying to go down the inside. Didn't work out, but then I got him back on the exit because I had a bit more speed coming off the corner, so that's good. Now going on to the third lap, I'm really looking at this because I see now 4 cars in front of me, not a huge gap to the leaders. Is this a realistic opportunity of going for a win here? But into turn 1 they are very slow. Well, they're very slow into the corner, they're not that bad off, so I try and dive it down the outside. I've definitely made up time on them, but haven't been able to make that position gained. And looking all over the place here, a little bit wide through there. That would have been very dangerous if I had gone for it, and I do go for that one. Use a bit of the grass on the inside up into P3. That was a great move, if I do say so myself. Moving up from 5th to 3rd in one really cool overtake there. The AI, they did defend, but they just didn't defend hard enough into that corner. I don't think it's particularly a corner you see people overtaking at, so a very risky overtake, but a very rewarding one at the same time. Getting that position done and completed was really cool. My teammate isn't really making progress. I think it says 12th. I can't really see on my little monitor here, but yeah, 12th position, not doing too well for my teammate. He was up the grid. I think he was about 8th or something on the grid, so really not the best of races for him. And you can see we're now closing down on the leaders. Raven West 1-2. Are we going to be able to spoil the party and maybe get a victory? Who knows? We haven't got too much time left to do it, however. We've only got 2 sectors left on this little Malaysia track, and it looks like they've got a pretty substantial lead. Sliding, not lost it. You know, as I said in the last episode, drifting is not exactly the hardest thing to do in this game, especially with the controller. With the wheel, you do seem to have a lot more control. With the controller, it does seem to be quite slidey in certain areas. Just for a Formula 3 car, it's quite a planted car in real life that doesn't ever really slide. it's a bit weird to see it sliding. I never had the problem with the wheel, so maybe it's the problem with the controller. If you use a controller, maybe it means that you're a bit more prone to sliding about, so that's a bit unfortunate. But we're in the slipstream up to the start-finish line. We don't quite do it, however. A 4:07 race time is not bad whatsoever, right up behind the Raven West cars. Pretty happy with that. You can see mere tenths of a second separating the top guys there. Second in the team's championship as well is pretty good as well. Now moving on to the second race here today in Malaysia, in the paddock area. Now going to the race, we're looking to try and emulate that same result, but starting down in 16th. It's not going to be an easy task, but I'll tell you, it's going to be a lot of fun getting there if we get near the front, because this is such a fun track and such a good car. And I do have a lot of fun. It slides about, as I said, a little bit, but it's really, the amount of fun you get, it just it overwrites the little problems with the sliding. So a little bit wide through turn 1, getting a couple of cars that are going a bit slowly, running all over the curb. But doesn't matter too much, I suppose, as we've got the position. There's cars sliding about all over the place. Are we going to look for a move down the inside? Yes, we are. No, it's got a bit wrong. There's a bit of contact. We do get the move done, however, a similar one to the one we did in the first race, but not as good really, because we made contact. Now dive it down the inside. Is there going to be contact? I don't think there was. I think that was a pretty clean move actually, moving it up into 7th position. So a pretty hectic first lap already. We're going to try and dive it down the inside into the last turn. Yes, we are. 2 positions in one go once again. What a crazy move to be able to pull off there. I don't know whether I should really change it up to very hard difficulty, but very hard difficulty is about 2 seconds a lap faster than the AI in comparison to what you see here. So in my opinion, for now I think I should just stay on this difficulty until I get a little bit more experience with the game. Then I'll move it up to very hard difficulty, which will be interesting, I'll tell you that. It should be a lot of fun. But now on to the second lap of this second race of the weekend, up into P4 from obviously a P16 starting position. It's not as easy as it looks, to be perfectly honest. Obviously it looks just like a breeze through the field, but you need to place your car at the right place at the right time, otherwise you will end up in the wrong place, exactly where we are now. The wrong place is the gravel. You don't want to be in the gravel for too long, and getting it back onto the track, nearly a collision there as I sort of mindlessly put onto the track. So not too smart from me there. I could have done that a lot better, and that nearly did actually cause an accident there. But only lost 1 position there, because I only lost the position to this guy here. And overall, not too disappointed about throwing it off. I mean, normally you'd be very disappointed about throwing it off, but the fact that I only lost 1 position wasn't too bad. Into the slipstream, across the start-finish line, down into turn 1. We're going to get that position before we even get there. On the brakes, we can visibly see we catch the guys in front. And that mistake, it definitely lost us time, but will it lose us the chance of a win? I don't know. We've got about 1.5 laps to go now. It's going to be a pretty intense fight to the finish, whether we can get that position off the front guys. It's obviously not going to be too easy, because they're going extremely fast and they've got a lot of speed in those cars. Obviously they're at the front. Raven West, ideally for them, have the best cars on the grid, and I think the kicker cars, I think these yellow cars are the kicker cars. They have the second best cars on the grid. And I think the Monster Energy is about the 3rd or 4th best car on the grid, so we're not exactly the best team on the grid, but it wasn't too bad to go for a championship assault. I think we definitely had the car underneath us to go for it. Now going on to the final lap here, 2 Raven West cars right in front of us. Will we be able to catch them and defeat them for the first time in this career mode preview? I don't know, but we're looking down the inside. What a late lunge down the inside. There's a bit of contact. And wow, what an overtake there, if I do say so myself. But there's obviously a bit of contact there, but that was a crazy move, a bit of a lunge, to be perfectly honest. A bit of a dive bomb is probably the better word for it. Really came out of nowhere to try and get the position, and we've run wide onto the grass, nearly into the gravel. That is not where we wanted to be. Raven West now right up behind me, as we've got a couple of corners to go. They've got sideways, and Raven West, they're going to dive it down the inside. Yes, they are. And we're going to be running side by side into the final corner. I'm trying to get into the slipstream there, but I'm just a bit alongside, so I couldn't be doing that. Now into the final corner, we're going to do it. We'll brake later than them. We've gone through the barrier, and we're going to go up to the start-finish line to win, hopefully, the first race in our Grid Autosport career mode. And yes, we are. We have done it. We have won the race, and that is going to be great for the championship. And we get an achievement. What a hectic race. What a great race. That last lap was one you'll remember, or one I'll remember at least. And there we are, 4 points, and now leading the championship, which is very good. And second place in the team's championship is definitely what we wanted. Pretty much defeating, or not defeating, pretty much completing, that's the right word, all of the objectives set by the sponsors. And now we're going to the next event, the last event in the Autosport Raceway. Will we be able to win the championship, or will it be a fail? Who knows? Let's try and do this race here, starting from the back. And away we go, the lights have gone out. Everyone gets a pretty good start here, and I'm left to really pick up the pieces if anyone makes a mistake into turn 1, because I've already messed up that start there. Really far back, a bit of smoke there, a bit of smoke again. Looks like cars are making contact, the wheels rubbing. Oh, damaged a bit of front wing there. Car sort of just brakes in the middle of the turn, and that is not what I wanted whatsoever. Crashing into one of my old team cars, the Monster Energy cars. Not what I want to be doing there. Up to 13th, not exactly electrifying start there, only making up a couple of positions, but placing the car in the right place at the right time is definitely something you want to be doing here. If you put your car in a slightly wrong place, you could be causing a collision and being involved in an accident, which is what you don't want to be. And this is the part of the track where I'm much faster. 1, 2, only 2 cars got, oh no, it's coming back on the inside. Very close stuff here at the end of the lap, and there's contact. Is there contact? I'm not too sure. The car looked like it drifted wide, or was there some sort of contact into the wall? Heavy damage on my Formula 3 car, and that is not going to be good. That is really bad. Actually, if any chance of trying to get nearer to the front is going to be halted by the severe damage on the car. Obviously I didn't retire from the race. Luckily I pretty much just hit it side on, so just major damage, nothing that's going to stop me. Maybe might have done in real life, but to put entirely realistic damage in this might have been a bit overboard. But pretty severe damage. The car is not handling the way I want it, and you could probably hear the car is not making the most pleasant of noises. It sounds a bit rough, and this is the corner here. Maybe it has something to do with the curb. Maybe you want to replay it there, because remember what it looks like, because the car did seem to lose grip in the middle of the corner, which is obviously not good. But we've still moved up a couple of positions, P7, but as you saw as I was looking through the camera views about half a minute ago, the front wing's damaged, the front suspension arm looks like it's broken, and yeah, the car's not looking healthy. Trying to go side by side with the Liqui Moly car, not really getting that done, and they were going side by side, and we got past him there, and that moves us up into P6. So it wouldn't be terrible to finish in P6 here, but obviously we're not trying to get P6, we're trying to get P1, P2 or P3. A podium position is what we need to win this championship, especially as Raven West are just so consistent. It is near impossible to get past them. Actually, is that a Raven West car in front of us? Looks like he's not made the best of races here. Down in 5th position, I'm thinking that's the Raven West car. I think Raven West is, the only one with that sort of, black livery, and I don't think it's got any sponsors on it either. I think it's just pretty much a completely black livery of Raven West. Obviously Raven West is just sort of the big team in Grid. If you haven't played Grid before, Raven West is sort of the premier team in all of the motorsports. They have a driver in every single category. They're always at the front. You've always got to aim to beat them to try and get the championship. And I think is it Aaron? I can't actually see on my little monitor, so I'm sorry if it isn't Aaron, but it looks like his name's Aaron Wesley or something. I can't actually see on my little monitor here. I don't know, maybe make the monitor a little bit bigger. There we go. Sorry, doing that right in the middle of a commentary probably isn't the most professional thing. Aaron Westley is his name. Sorry about that. But as you can see, my teammate is on full attack mode in P9 at the moment, so he's not having a terrible race, picking up some points for the team, which is obviously what we wanted. And that is a very ambitious move, and yeah, that serves us right. Got big steering damage now, and also our chance of possibly getting a podium is completely halted by a massive misjudgment on my part, and now I'm just driving across the grass for the hell of it. And so yeah, that was a massive mistake on my part, a dive that was never going to be able to come off, and a massive mistake. And you can see here problems with the lag made me pause the game. It wasn't anything to do with the game, it was actually my recording software for apps. having a bit of a moment, so I just stopped the game, paused it, stopped recording, started the recording again. You can see it didn't really make any difference to how the game looks, but yeah, just unfortunate. I didn't want to end up crashing because I was going around at 2 FPS all of a sudden, but yeah, that wasn't a game problem. I know people think that I'm just saying that, but it was not a game problem. That was just down to my recording software. As P6, 9 more points, second place in the championship, 16 points behind Rick Scott. Can we take this? I don't know. It's going to be very hard because Raven West are always at the front. I'm pretty much going to have to win this race with Rick Scott down in about 7th place for me to win this championship. So here we are, the lights have gone out and we are here with the final race of this Formula C championship to try and win it. This will be our last season in these cars, whether we win it or not, just because this edition of this version of the game, it's like a demo version pretty much. Doesn't have the option to go any further on into the career mode in a specific genre, so that's just obviously they don't want to give me the full game a month before release because there'll be so many glitches and stuff still they want to fix. So yeah, they're just giving me a preview of all of the categories, and I will be going through all of them as best as I can. So yeah, here we are. We're trying our best to try and just make our way through the field. A bit of a crazy first lap. That's our teammate right in front of us. Jan Wu is our teammate. Diving it down the inside of 2 cars there. Nope, only one. A second one. Oh, he moves out of the way pretty nicely there. And up into P7, Rick Scott with the lead of the race. Leo Turner now the car in front in the Kicker yellow car. You can see in front of us very distinctive livery they've got there. So I finished 5th in the championship last time out. I maybe could even get a worse result than that if I mess up this race. So I want to be on full attack mode. Oh no, not quite getting it down the inside there. A bit of damage front wing though, that's not what I wanted. Tommy King is down in 16th position at the moment, quite far behind the rest of the field. Trying to go side by side here. We've got the move done around the outside. That was a crazy move. Less grip on the outside of the marbles on the track. That's not generally the favoured line, but we managed to get it done. And down the inside now of Matthias Dice, and we're up in front of him now. Evan Kennedy is in P3 in his Kickers car. So yeah, that is pretty much it for the race really, because you got Rick Scott in the lead, and then Aaron what was his name, Wesley in second I think, then Evan Kennedy third, then me in 4th. That is pretty much the fight for the win. It's between us 3, so yeah, that is pretty much it really in terms of the race win, because no one else behind us looks like they're going to be catching up. So it's between us 4 for the win. Trying to get around Evan Kennedy here. He's putting up quite a bit of a fight. He's not giving me the big open line that most of the other drivers were at the back of the grid, because he's really defending like his life depends on it. And I suppose at the front of the field it really does, your life does depend on every position, every point to try and get promoted up the categories. Trying to find a way past. It's not looking like it's going to be easy there, but we put the move down the inside there. Up into 3rd, Rick Scott, Aaron Wesley. Can we take them on for the win of this race? Who knows? We go up to the start finish line to complete the 3rd lap, go on to lap 4. A 50.78 lap time, that's actually pretty good. And here we are, going down into turn 1, 2, 3, and we got a penalty. That is not what we wanted whatsoever. A penalty is a massive, massive mistake on my part. Could have easily got away with that by just going a bit wider into the turns, but a mistake on my part means that we've lost more and more positions, which and another one, exactly, you know what I mean, when you're pushing you just keep making mistake after mistake after mistake. Cutting across those white lines really isn't too good. Rick Scott still leading and on task, that's not the right word. En route, that's the right word. En route to take the championship, ahead of Aaron Wesley I think, and probably me in 3rd. I think that's how the championship would end if it went like this. I'm not too sure, but we'll see at the end of the race obviously. And we're going on to the final lap of my race in here. I'm messing up during the end of this commentary. Coming towards the last lap, we're actually going to be competing in these cars in this series. So are we going to be able to get a manoeuvre done? I don't really think so. I mean, it looks like we're really far back here. Rick Scott looks like he's got a pretty commanding lead. Aaron Wesley seems to have sewn up 2nd as well, and Evan Kennedy is way back, so it looks like we've easily got 3rd. But saying that, we're catching him through the middle sector, both of them. We are faster than. Are we going to be able to look for a move? Rick Scott. No, we've got Aaron Wesley. Are we going to be able to get Rick Scott in the final corner of the last lap? Are we going to be able to look to the inside? There's a space on the inside. There isn't really a space, but we make a space. Crashes into the wall up to the start-finish line. It's going to be a drag race. Wow, what a way to finish the last race in the Formula 3 cars. Nearly side by side, and that's literally how close the championship was, really. I know I had that one odd race, but apart from that, the championship was so close. And there we are. We have completed most of the objective from the sponsors, which is good. Got a nice amount of XP and ending Season 2 in pretty good fashion. We didn't win the championship, sadly. We didn't beat Raven West. But wow, what a great season that was. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. I realise it's quite a long one, but second place in the championship is not too bad whatsoever. So probably in the real game I'll be moving up to sort of a faster single seater, maybe like a Formula Renault 3.5 or something. I don't know what it's going to be, but you can see there's lots of categories that you might end up going into. But that is it for this video, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. But until next time, it's been Alex Mad here. Goodbye.